here to confess something in the public today. My husband was in coma for a few months, actually, because of me. It was not a medical coma, but it was kind of a philosophical coma. The kind of coma you get into when your wife comes home one day and declares that I just resigned from my high flying career. We are moving back to Bharat, and also, I think we are not sending our kids to the school. Honestly, I get it. Who wouldn't go coma with this abnormal wife? But the thing is that this decision didn't come from a rebellious attitude. It came from an abnormal daughter of a crazy father. I want you all to close your eyes and go back into the memory lane to the time just the night before your 12th board examinations. Remember the raised heartbeats, the pressure, the anxiety full, and the strange feeling that my entire life depends on just this exam. And me, I was actually under buried under the reputation of myself, which was I was always a topper. Remember, some of you were doing the last minute revisions, some of you were mugging the formulas, and some of you were making probably the elaborated plans on how we are going to cheat tomorrow, right? I am just sitting in my study table and like full anxiety. And I hear a knock on my door. It was my father. पापा आए अंदर और पापा ने बोला कि let's watch a movie. You know, for those of you are under 30, it was a Doordarshan time. It was not a time where OTT, no Netflix, no pause button, no I'll watch it later. If the movie came on TV, you watched it, you watched it. Or if you missed it, it's gone forever. I was surprised and shocked at the same time. I said, पापा कल मेरी एग्जाम है और वो भी मैथमेटिक्स का पेपर. What he said, he looked at me. He looked at me, smiled, and said, you can stay awake for 1 or 2 more hours. You can study later, but I don't want you to miss this movie. Now, that one sentence, changed everything in my life. Not because he chose movie over mathematics, but because he chose life over the fear of success. He was saying that there are many things more important in life than marks, and one of them is being alive while you are alive. Later in my life, I realized that this thinking, these thoughts came from our ancient Vedic wisdoms, Ved, Upanishad, the Bhagavad Gita, beautifully lived and simplified by Panduranga Shastri Athwale, whom we lovingly call Dadaji, a social reformer and a philosopher. He actually transformed millions of lives across the globe. And he said something very simple but very powerful, that education should be life oriented, not job oriented. Think about it. We spend 15 to 20 years of our life in school learning how to pass exams, how to get jobs, how to compete with millions of other humans, and now with AI. But we can code complex algorithms, we can solve difficult problems, but we cannot grow a simple plant. We cannot listen to our bodies. We cannot have a conversation without checking our phone. And we cannot spend an hour with our grandparents without being feeling restless. So, what I'm saying is that there are many things in life which I'm not saying that the academics don't matter. What I am trying to say is that maybe if you could learn a simple to cook a simple meal without being dependent on Zomato, Swiggy, and Blinkit, or maybe you could repair a chair without throwing it away. So life doesn't only happens in offices, but it happens in relationships, in food, in nature, and in health. And life happens in balancing three most important aspects of our life, that is material, emotional, and spiritual. And unfortunately, in today's world, we have been focusing more than 90% of our life is focused on only material well being. So, uh, there is a question what, what generally as a children we have been asked one very common question: what do you want to be when you grow up? And we have asked couple of, not couple of, millions of times to the small children, and we have been asked in our childhood as well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Suddenly our mind goes into the thinking mode: doctor, engineer, data scientist, AI ML experts, chat GPT consultant. But uh, see, if we paused and redesigned this question, instead of asking, what do you want to be? If we asked, what do you want to create in this world? See what happens. The question opens up to infinite. And question opens up from noun to verb, from being to creating, from reproductive imagination to creative imagination. And what happens? We start looking for creating different things. And when the time came for our children's, we rejected that the learning must be outsourced. We actually gave them the full of authority to design their own learning, and they became self learners. And the creation began. My son was in filmmaking, and my daughter started when she was started a beautiful startup when she was 18. So what see, and the habit of questioning is normal. These are the questions which I used to ask me, like what in the world, where are we going? And the question of the habit of questioning the normal followed me everywhere, even into my own career. So on paper, I had won the gold. Uh, Perfect LinkedIn profile, good salary, luxurious life in US. But working with the biggest IT company, I was actually helping big retailers of the world to expand their business, to get more ROI, to get into more consumption. But my inner, and I was into growth expansion and more consumerism. But my heart kept saying slow, simple, and less. Because most of the time, the most valuable time of my life, I was spending in actually doing something which didn't align with my values and which was a minimalist life. So I stepped away. Being an abnormal person, I am. I stepped away. And when my boss asked, you could have gone places, I replied, I am going places. Because I was choosing, I was not getting away from success, but I was choosing a more conscious and simple life. Now, life asked me another deeper question. In 2017, I was diagnosed with a heavy diabetes, and my blood work read HbA1c of 10.1. Normal response. And for some of you who don't know, HbA1c 10.1, it's really scary. It's your body sending red signals. So the normal response would have been panic, doctors, medications, internet rabbit hole at 3 a.m. in the night. But I did something which made my doctor and my even my family members very uncomfortable. I went to the forest with water, with silence, with my own body. And I practiced water only fasting for 10 days. It actually activated a process called autophagy, which the work on autophagy won a Nobel Prize in 2016 by a Japanese scientist. And this is the body's self cleaning system, which activates after 24 hours of no food. So I listen to my body. I'm not saying you throw away prescriptions and you hug a tree. But what I'm saying is, I listen to my body. I listened to something which my body was trying to tell me for many years. And my all the health parameters, the HbA1c, cholesterol, everything, that got significantly improved. But more than the numbers, what I realized that I understood the difference between healthcare and self-healing, between outsourcing my body's wisdom to someone in a white coat to learning its language myself. Because body is not broken, body is communicating. And unfortunately, we forgot to listen our bodies. Then that brings me to another question, another big thing. What we have built a world where our food travels 2000 kilometers to reach to our plate, but we cannot leave our child, he cannot walk 200 meters without adult supervision, because we are trusting global supply chains more than our local communities. We are trusting pharmaceutical companies more than our body's healing power and grandma's remedies. And we are trusting schools to raise our children more than ourselves. No, I'm not blaming the system or anything. I'm just asking, like, just keep questioning yourself. What is the normal? So, if we start questioning what has happened, that we in this process, it's not a progress what I have been describing, but in this process we have been outsourcing and we have lost agency over our own life. And when you start questioning the system, when you start questioning that the system is making you to believe and blindly follow, you start living mindfully, and creation doesn't stop. And here is our eco-natural home. We build our home, it's a family's labor of love. It's not because we are architects, but we wanted to take the responsibility. We didn't want for a convenience. And it has all the natural features, like it's built around the existing trees. Interiors are done with the repurposed materials. We are using the three-pot filter system to filter the water. We are actually harvesting the rainwater and actually storing it for our daily consumption, drinking and cooking and everything else. Then we also, it's our family's labor of love. Then we build a food forest, not as a project, but as a relationship with Mother Nature. We have planted more than 150 trees there, and it's a food forest where we are growing whatever we consume, plus all the native trees, plus everything for the ecosystem. So we are regenerating the soil. So it's not as a project, but it's as a creation. Then, so what happens? Now, some of you are thinking that, Archana, we cannot quit our job, or we cannot take our children out of the school, or we cannot even go to the forest. But I know it's right, you are right. Probably you cannot. But I am inviting you to, we all can move towards micro creation. Maybe if we grow even 10% of our food, if we heal 10% of ourselves, if we learn with nature and community even 10% of the learning time, if we take out for that, that is what is happening, that we are actually asking the questions to the system, and we are not outsourcing, and we are reclaiming agency over our own lives. And one important question in today's generative AI world is, are we working on regeneration of I, regeneration of myself, reclaiming my own agency over my own life? And when we start doing it, probably things will slowly happen. So what I am inviting today, to not quit, to not go to the forest, to not take out your children out of the school, but at least just ask, see that one simple question, if ask yourself, if you feel, if it is normal. So just ask a question which feels normal to you. Grow a plant, take a zero waste challenge, spend some time with your grandmother listening to her stories, repurpose one of your dress, very small things. to cook a simple meal from scratch and build with your hands. Spend a time with your family in the soil, you know, and replace your uh, plastic bottle, plastic water bottle with a steel bottle, and BYOB, not bring your own beer, but this is what I have here. It's bring your own bartan. This bag goes me with everywhere wherever I go, the plate, glass and spoon. So because the world doesn't need more successful people, but world needs more conscious creators. World needs people who understand that wealth is not just money, but wealth is community, wealth is nature, wealth is health, wealth is food, and wealth is our ancestors wisdom. Wealth is pure air, pure food and pure water. Wealth is life skills, wealth is inner peace. And maybe, just maybe, the day we stop being normal, we start being alive. Thank you.